today. In other news, officials at the Pacific Nuclear Research Facility have denied the rumor that a case of missing plutonium was in fact stolen from their vault 2 weeks ago. A Libyan terrorist group had claimed responsibility for the alleged theft.
Hey, Einstein, where's the dot, boy? Huh?
Creatives, how are you? Welcome back to the Nerd Creative channel. FANHOME, Build the Back to the Future DeLorean, part 26. In this video, we'll be completing issue 52 of the build. Grab yourself a coffee, sit back, relax and enjoy. So as with all the builds, they come with component parts and they come with magazines. So these are the components here. Let's put them aside and have a look at the magazine. That's a good shot of the rear of the model. So these are all the components. We've got a door sill there, we've got some more cabling work there, we've got some cable ties and some more tabs and screws. So let's have a look. This is our step-by-step instructions. So we'll have to bring the not the cockpit, the inside of the car with the two seats, the front of the car, and we'll work our way through that. Okay, Building the World of Tomorrow Part 3. A look at some of the futuristic vehicles seen in Hill Valley. Some really good ones. That's the Ford there. There's a Martin McFly going over that car from Back to the Future 2, and a shot of the time machine landing at the start of Back to the Future 2 as well. There's a futuristic police car as well. Casey Simasco behind the 3D glasses. The Brat Pack actor who played Biff's henchman 3D went on to further films and TV success. And there's a look at issue 53 of the build, and then we can see on the back there, we can see that that cable is actually being coloured, because usually everything's grey, but when it comes to different cabling they do actually colour it. So let's open our magazine again and we'll open the components. This is the admin side, and we'll see if we have everything that is here. So I'm just going to open these bags for issue 52. Okay, so we've got this section here, which is the door sill, and we have a handbrake, and we have a tab, which is there, and we have our first set of screws. We've got our AP screws there. Let's open the next panel of the components. So we have three, what are these called? 3 black cables, and 2 of them are the same size and 1 of them is not. We have our cable, we have our 2 cable ties here, and we have FP screws. So we seem to have everything that comes with the build. So we'll put our screws away. So we'll start off with the FP screws, which are here. Just going to cut the bottom of the bag and just pour them in. And then we've got AP screws which are here. So again, we'll just cut the bottom of the bag and then, oops. So there we go. I'm just going to lay all these components out and move the magazine. So we've got our door sill there. We have a tab there. We have a brake there. We have our 3 cables here. We have our coloured cable there. We have our 2 cable ties. I'm just going to put the magazine aside. We have our screws, we have our screwdrivers, we've got our components, we've got our magazine. Let's begin. So the first thing we have to do is we've got to get all our cables. So we've got to get our 52C, our 52Ds, which are these 2, and our 52E, which is this coloured one, and we've got to bring them all together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip them so that they don't move there. And then I'm going to feed down here, see if I can line them all up straight. Let me just see if I can just straighten them like that there. I'm going to clip them all together so they don't move, and then I'm going to keep them as are there, keep them like that, and then I'm going to pull all the way down like that, there, and I'm going to clip them at the bottom as well so that I get them all like that. So they're all clipped together there, and then we've got to get these cable ties, and we've got to, which way does that go? Yep. So we just need to roughly work out where we want to get the cable ties. So there's one. So I'm going to roughly put this one here, like that, and then I'm going to put this one roughly around here, like that. There. That's roughly where they go. I'm just going to cut off the excess with the spruce cutters. See how easy that was with holding these together with clips so they're not splaying out all over the place. So that's roughly where that goes. So I brought the front interior of the car back. I've got our cable still here, so I'm going to unclip these now. So see how I kept them all the same height, because they need to go in there, and this section here where it's twisted there at the end. I don't know if you can see, and that just needs to push through this front part of the car. I'm just going to see if I can do that. I might feed them in from the back. I'll see if I can do it that way. So I'm going to feed it in and just slide the car just there. So I'm going to feed it through the front of the car here. I don't know if I'm going to get the cable ties through. No, I'm not going to. So let's just straighten these out again. Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, that one's just slid out of place. Just make sure these are all. So what I'll do is I'll reclip these. Once I get them straight again, I'm going to reclip this end here, and I'm going to feed this with the twisty part there. I'm going to feed it through the front. See if I can get all three. Alright, I've got all the cables through there, through the front side there, as you can see, sticking out of the front. And then what they do is, that needs to drop down there. So I need to just pull that back a bit, and then I'm going to re-clip them from this side to stop it from pulling through there. So I'm just going to pull it to where I need it, so it's about there. I'm going to re-clip these ends of the cables to stop them pulling back through, and then I've got to feed these through to here, like that, there. And what I need to do is I just need to unclip them that side, and I need to pull them because they need to go to this edge here. See the edge? Let me just zoom in. See the edge of this base here? That's where my cables need to go to. So I'm going to pull them back. So they're exactly there. That's it, there, right there. That's where they need to go, right there, right on that. And then that's what our tab is for. So we need an AP screw. So I'll get an AP screw, which is here, because we need to put a screw and our tab in place. So I'm going to put the screw inside the tab, which is the tab's there. I'm going to put the screw inside the tab there. There we go. And then the tab goes on the inner side. So I'm going to put the tab in place. I'm going to hopefully line them both up at the same time. I may not be able to because it's quite fiddly, but let's see. So if I can get the tab, right, the tab's on. I just need to line the screw up to about there. And I'm going to screw that in place, and it will hold these cables in place. Let me just, yeah, that's going in. There, that's a tab in there, and then that just basically sits down like that there, and these stick out at the end. I'm going to leave the clip on there until the next section. Now it says as shown, remove, yes, so what we've got to do is up front we have to unfasten this and tuck these new cables that are connected to this peg, this clip, and then tuck them down there and refasten it. So that's not going to be easy, but so they're on with two screws, so I'm going to unscrew one of them. I don't know if you can see, I think you can see from that angle there. So I'm going to unscrew this side. I can't actually see. Right, there it is. I'm going to put it to the side there so I can stick my screwdriver in, and so I knew that was going to happen because the camera is in the way. Let me just see if I can unscrew. Yep, that's unscrewing. So I'm going to unscrew this there. So I just pull the screw out, and then I need to get these cables lifted from the peg. I need to slide this down, get these cables down, see there, pull those cables down, and then slide that tab back over the top, which is not that easy. See if I can get use like some tweezers just to feed. See if I can just feed that. I just need to lift that tab above these cables. Yeah, that's not easy. I just lift the tab above the cables. Like that there. There you go. There. That's all the cables now. The new cables are back there. Need to make sure that's sitting okay. Right, okay. And then we need to put that screw back in there. And that will hold these new cables along with the cables that are already there. That wasn't too bad actually. So we just need to very difficult to do it like this because the screwdriver is right next to the, yeah, right next to that. Let me just tighten it up. There. Let's show you that. So the new cables are underneath this tab here. So that's that piece, and then look from the side. That's basically how it goes there. See there, like that. There. That's where that's how that cable runs from the front all the way down there and held in place there. Okay. So the last two components in this build are the door sill and the handbrake. Yeah, and as you can see, there's two holes there, there's a location lug there, and then the one for the screw there, and that sits in there like that, and that is held into place with one AP screw. So we get our AP screw out, ready, sitting on our screwdriver, and then, so that's the way it goes. You see the way it's sort of like, it goes kind of that, like that. See, that kind of matches. Let's just check. Yeah. So that goes in there. I just fit it in. So those, follow those two holes there. It's not going to be easy. So I'm going to hold that in place, turn it over, and I'm going to put the screw in there. And that's going to hold the handbrake in place. Make sure that they are lined up properly. Yep, they're lined up. So I'm just going to screw that in. There. That's our handbrake on to our door sill. So this is our door sill, and there's our handbrake there. So what we need to do is we need to turn it around, turn it over like that, and then it sits. See, it's got three holes here, and there's three holes there. So what we've got to do is we've got to lift this cable up and fit this in to the three holes that are down there. Let me just lift this cable up, and that, I'm doing it as it is in the picture. So those three holes there, and then these cables, they actually feed down the side of the handbrake there, like that, and they come over the top there, like that, and then this holds in place by two FP screws that came with the build. So we'll get our three FP screws. I'll get the three FP screws out. Now screwdriver back, so I'm going to have to lift this car up like that and hold it there. So Let me see. Right, there. Let me just zoom out. You still can't see what I'm doing. Let me just see if I can. There. So I'm going to put a screw on the screwdriver. And then I'm going to hold this in place and get the first screw in there. I might just have to tilt it off camera because it's at a funny angle, just to get the first one in. Right there. Alright, so I got the first one in, first screw is in. I need to get the second one in. It's at a really weird angle. That. Make sure that's screwing in. And then the last one. Get that on camera as well. So the last one goes in there. Just gonna wiggle it around just to make sure it is going in the hole. Let's just flip the car over. There we go. It's our door sill in there. You can see. And that just makes it all neat and tidy there. That shouldn't really interfere with the door. And as you can see, where I've got the cable here, let me just zoom in. See where I've got the cable there, so that's that black bit there, that's the handbrake there, and the cable's there. Let me just show you how it's supposed to go. See there, see that's the door sill there, that's the handbrake in there, and then see in between, that's where the cables have to be. And then if you get, there's an aerial shot, so there is our handbrake there, that's the yellow bit there where the cable is, and then that grey bit running all the way there is the door sill. And that completes issue 52 of the build. As always, we've got merch for the channel. We have our Nerd Creative range and our Stay Creative range. Links in the description. Get whatever you want. I'd like to thank you for your company. I'll see you in the next video. Stay creative.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?